Hello and welcome to Racers Now, and in this video we've got a special hour-long session looking forward to our handicappers to follow in the National Hunt season. Absolutely not, SD, that's not the case. We are previewing this Saturday racing as usual every Thursday here on YouTube. How are you, SD?
Was that your idea of a joke?
Yeah, it didn't go down too well, did it?
No, no, I'm
But no,
afraid.
there is. I've seen a video where they had 2 parts to handicappers to follow, jumps handicappers to follow, 2 parts of between 45 and an hour each, and we're on the
We
5th
got the
one here.
Ayr Gold Cup. We got the Ayr Gold Cup with the Cambridgeshire, with the Ark, with the St Chariot, with the Redcar
Breeders' Cup.
2-year-old trophy, with the Cumberland Lodge, with the Dewhurst, with the Cesarewitch, with the
Catterick Dash.
Racing Post Trophy. We've got Champions Day. We've got the Catterick Dash.
November
And
handicap.
we've got the November Handicap.
Melbourne Cup, Breeders' Cup. Plenty to look forward to.
Piss off.
Right, SD, how are you?
Well, I was fine before you started talking about the Breeders' Cup and the Melbourne Cup and anybody else's cup.
Well, nice
Two
to see you
girls,
again.
one cup.
Nice
Yes.
Nice to see you again. You've still got your work uniform on, SD. Yet again proving SD does not own any casual wear. He's either working or at the
I
races.
may be slightly more casual tomorrow because I'm going out for a little soiree, aren't I?
Yes, you said that like I should know about it, but maybe I forgot. Anyway, SD's
Friend of the
YouTube
channel.
Yes, SD's YouTube tips since April the 6th after that season, just 63 points in front. Included winners last week in the Portland, 11-1, 16-1 place in the same race, 8-1 winner on the Friday, 31 to place in the Ledger. Very good, SD. Well done. Right, we're going to Ayr on
Don't
Saturday.
talk about the dailies. Bloody hell, we've had a bad week, and all of a sudden I'm the fucking messiah.
Yes, there is. We are in a SD is in a minus for September, but that happens. It's free.
It's fine. We're still in profit. We're still in.
Every day.
Yeah, I don't take the free bit though. The free bit is, that's a bit weak because if I was tipping absolute shite, I think, you would say it was free and blah blah blah. But anyway, no, there are still some. What did somebody say? Autism now. That was a good one.
Yeah, I enjoyed that autism.
Yes,
now.
I enjoyed that one. Now get back to wanking with your piece of bread, you Inuit.
Do you know what though? Autism now. I don't know whether that relates more to me or you. That's why I found it.
Well, it's you with the ear defenders on, isn't it?
Right, we're concentrating our efforts at Ayr. We're SD. Looking at the forecast myself, there's certainly not a lot of rain around, is there? I think the moisture the only moisture that will be around is that's already in the ground, as far as I could see. If you want to correct me, please.
Well, the problem is Saturday's forecast has oscillated all week. Now, I think they probably had a bit of rain this evening. Maybe a friend of the show, Dio O'Donnell, can tell us about that. But look, at the moment it looks dry, but I would not be at all. I mean, if I was to take it back 24 hours, it was pissing down from 2 o'clock a day. So there's a band of rain sort of coming up the Irish Sea, and how far north and how far it pivots is a bit of a moot point, isn't it? It's very interesting because obviously it may well determine the outcome of some races. I mean, I've done the form as if it were good to soft ground. I could look like an idiot. I mean, I have to say, some of the times today, especially on the round course, I think the straight might be a little bit quicker. Were very slow. I mean, the 10 furlong handicap was nearly 14 seconds slow. So it's testing. It's certainly testing. Maybe not as much on the straight course, but they were still running. They were still running 4 seconds, 4 seconds slow in that 5 furlong handicap today. So I think it's certainly not gonna suit a fast ground horse. How tested it gets is largely determinant on how much rain and what happens to that rain ban on Saturday. So stay tuned to the forecast. But you certainly wouldn't want who wanted it rattling, would you?
I agree. Yep, fair enough. Right, the 1:15 on Saturday then, SD gets the day started on ITV. This is a 1 mile handicap.
Well,
Kafiz
that's a laugh, isn't it? Have you seen the title of the race?
Ladbrokes free bet at handicap.
Yeah, anyone know anybody with a Ladbrokes account who can get any great money on? Do let me know. Have to go in shop, and then you won't get your free bet, will you? Never mind. Magic Sign's gone to shit since Mike Dillon left. Do you remember that that annoying little
Don't go there, please.
what?
Don't go there, please.
You know what I was going to say, don't you?
Well, you had little in the description, so that probably might be a different direction than I'm expecting. But either direction, I don't want.
I'll not go there. I'll be
Thank you.
nice, but
Thank
anyway,
you.
I don't think they'll lay an egg at the moment. So there we are.
Thank you. Am I introducing this race, SD, or not?
Well, you might as well. You might
Right.
as well. Snap.
Right, we've got a 1 mile handicap to open the cod, maximum field of 14. Kafiz is the unexposed 3-year-old type in there for Roger Varian, who has won this race before with a similar horse to him. Yeah, first time in handicap, etc. Ran in a Group 3 in France last time. Blah blah blah. You know the script there. There are some older boys in there. Northern Express, for example, is a 7-year-old second favourite in there. I'm wondering, SD, whether High Royal might have a chance here. Very, very much exposed nowadays. Obviously, he's got mixed form, but on a going day, I think he would be bang there. And I ain't going too far back to find one of those going days. I thought he ran really well first time up this season at Thirsk. I think you can put a line through his run last time at Ascot High Royal, where he looked to be starting to plug on, but found some traffic problems. Not saying he would have been close to the judge that day, but he did find traffic problems late on. Would I back High Royal at 10-1 in this? No, but he is available at 20-1. So small go each way for me on High Royal, please.
I can see. Look, I can see the case. He ran in what was a very. He's run his best 2 races at Thirsk this year. He ran in what was a very good Summer Cup at Thirsk. Was only a length and a quarter behind Treble T. Treble T dotted up last week and is now favourite for the Cambridgeshire, isn't he? Yeah. You know, the winner was second in one of those typically competitive Knowsmire handicaps, and Barley, who was last that day, has gone very, very close to. I mean, it's questionable horse attitude wise, gone very close to winning a couple of times and has won well at the Knowsmire. So being reduced on a reduced mark for that first effort, I can see where you're going.
Well, you sold it quite well for me there, Rusty.
Well, I did sell it quite well. The problem, I can see why you're backing them each way. I'm not sure the draw's ideal when they've certainly been coming far side today. Slight question mark about the stable form, but surely they're going to come good one bloody day. The problem with him is he just never seems to win, does he?
Mm.
I mean, he was second in the Thurston Cup. That form hasn't necessarily worked out. Ran in the Doonside Cup here last year. I mean, he's only come down £7, but there is a case. There's a case. I can't deny you that. I wouldn't be surprised. So there you go. I thought I sold it better than you sold it.
You did.
Yes.
So what are you backing then?
Well, I'm backing Juan. Mr.
What?
King, never mind.
I wondered where you was going then.
Mr. King, never mind. The old ones are the best. Look, he got no run last time. Wasn't beaten very far at all at Haydock. Just didn't get the run of the race at all. Was third the previous time behind Billy B at York. Ran really well last year, didn't it? Off a mark of 90 in this. I think it was. It was this very race, and was only beaten 2 necks in it, by the way. Although a progressive 3-year-old did win the race. Now languishing off 81. You know, I suspect this has been the target for the very astute Jardine team. Incidentally, I was at Musselburgh last week, and they literally went round the ring back in a Jardine horse. He finished up, he drifted at the end on Betfair. They took lumps out on that cougar. Blinker's first time, never seen again. The yard knows the time of day. Trained in Carrutherstown, just off the A75, where, of course, Len Lungo used to train. Remember Len Lungo?
Absolutely not.
And do you know what Landlunger was famous for in his jockey days?
Probably punting.
No, he rode Martin Pipe's first ever winner.
Nice one.
There you go.
Every day's
How have we got on to
a
that?
learning day with SD.
Yes. Now we go on to the Doonside Cup. I'll let you introduce the
Thank you.
Doonside Cup. Sorry, the missus has just come in with a face mask on. Don't.
Oh, was it an improvement or not?
Look,
hopefully she didn't hear that.
Stop trying to. Be very careful, she says. The whips are up. Anyway.
Right, shut up. We're on the Doonside Cup 10 furlong listed. We said earlier in the week we had no idea what was going to run in this, and that's how it's turned out, actually, because there's only 6 runners in there. Almeric being the one of most interest. It is 7-4 favourite at the moment. This horse for Andrew Baldwin has only had 3 career starts, and when we last saw him 158 days ago, he was winning the Fielden at Newmarket, a usually very good listed race for a classic type at that time of the year. So there was King of Cities and Almeric were a long way clear of the rest in that. King of Cities won the other week at York, I believe. He's a 3-year-old. Certain Lad is in here as the second favourite currently. A bit of a gap to the second favourite. He is 9 years old, and then you've got familiar names like King's Gambit that hasn't quite delivered this year, much to my dislike because I back him most times. I just wondered what you thought about the Doonside Cup, Mr. SD.
It's hard, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I
am having a bet in it, by the way, but I'll let you go.
I used to love this race because they used to have a good old Lord Advocate used to run in this race. I'm sure I mentioned this last year about probably, when would it be, 97, 98 or something like that. He had an official rating of about 40, and he used to run every year in this race. He was he was a standing dish at Hamilton. He'd win it. He'd pop up at massive prices at Hamilton, trained by Donald Nolan, and yes, that's why I like this race. I just remember being completely mesmerised onto will Lord Advocate beat a horse. Anyway, doesn't have much bearing on this. I think in terms of form, Almeric's probably the pick. It's hard though. It's very hard. He's coming back after the thick end of 6 months off. I think if he's in the form he was in at Newmarket and with normal improvement, he'll probably win. If I was going to back one against him, well, it wouldn't be King's Gambit. As you say, he threatens to deliver, doesn't he? He just hasn't this year. He's just a horse who's not gone on. As soon as Wathnam bought him, he went to shit, to be quite honest. Caviar Heights might be the one. Just couldn't get past last time at Windsor. I thought the penultimate run was pretty good, but in truth, would it surprise you if any of them won? Probably not.
I am having a bet, SD, and it is price related. Liberty Lane. I think Burke's in very good form, particularly with his higher class animals. We saw that last weekend on both sides of the Irish Sea. Liberty Lane likes this time of year. I can't have King's Gambit. I can't really have Certain Lad or Tuscan Hills. Caviar Heights maybe, but just doesn't win enough for me. I add this down to Liberty Lane versus Almeric. Almeric's the one that, still in that could be anything box, unexposed, etc., but has had quite a long time off. So I'm on Liberty Lane purely at the prices. It's 7-4 Almeric or 13-2 Liberty Lane. Liberty Lane will do me. Yeah. Shall we move on?
He's just a bit inconsistent, isn't he?
He is.
He's still in the Cambridgeshire, which of course won last year, didn't he?
He did. He did win that last year. And then he ran really well after that in a higher grade race as well. So, like you say, a little bit in and out, but I do think this is his time of the year. And he's always there or thereabouts, I think, anyway, to be fair.
He's not always there or thereabouts. He can throw
at listed level. At listed level.
What an absolutely...
Well, he's won at listed level this year.
Yes, but you just said he's always there or thereabouts. I mean, that's just a ridiculous statement,
Well, do I have the opportunity to reword my horrible mistake, SD?
Go on.
He finds himself running in good races quite often.
Well, that's a different thing. But he has been 12. He's been 12th of 16. He's been 13th of 20. He's been 28th of 34. He can throw in an absolute wobbler if he wants to.
Yes, yes.
And he's
Okay.
also got to give weight here, hasn't he?
He
I
has.
thought
He
that
has.
was the other thing against him.
He has, because he did have that listed win earlier in the season. Okay, thanks for you've supported me on one. You've took a dump on me in the other. Right, we're going to be moving on now, SD, to the Silver Cup. Is it? Yes, at 225 Silver Cup. This is for the ones that didn't get in the Gold Cup itself, and there's a Bronze Cup on Friday that we might touch on later in the show. What was you thinking in the Silver then?
Well, I thought the case of Sergeant Wilko, they've kept the pieces on, haven't they? I'd have preferred a pair of blinkers. You certainly wanted to be middle to far side today, didn't you?
Yes.
Just the bias can be fluid. David Johnson from Timeform pointed this out to me on Twitter earlier. You'll remember Bielsa. They were winning far side all week, and Bielsa just steamed down the stand side red, which is a high draw. And the flip side, probably 20 years ago now, I remember back in Fonthill Road for the race anti-post, nearly tearing my tickets up, and then he pissed up far side. So the bias can remain fluid as to where the pace is on the track, I suppose. So don't be. I'm not saying don't be taken in by it, but of course it's a factor. But history shows you that it can flip. Look, this is. I have to say, this is my sort of race. You just. It's one of those races. You look at it and you think, "Good God, I have to play, don't I?" I I think Candy is probably running into form at the right time for very shrewd outfit of Cunningham and Spencer. Um, won the nursery at this meeting last year, and then followed up in the Red Car 2-year-old trophy. Likes a bit of give in the ground, and there were definite signs, weren't the last time at Ascot, that this horse was coming back to life. It's gonna be, it's gonna be tough because he's not one-dimensional by any means, but I think he prefers to be at the front. But if you look at some of the horses he had at the back of him that day, Jubilee Walks running in the Ayr Gold Cup who beat him. Binneral was slightly in front of him, but you've got the likes of Sergeant Wilko, Fresh, Badri. I mean, these decent animals. He's a touch of class as Candy, and I'm very sweet on him.
Even I get that gag, SD gag. Should I say gag? I don't even know what the
Yes,
word
yes.
is. Right, so you put that's two up in there, Sergeant Wilko and Candy for SD. Anyone that backed Sergeant Wilko anti-post earlier in the week, as SD did, will get their money back. It was balloted out, hence why he is in the Silver Cup. If you back Sergeant Wilko for the Gold Cup on SD Say So, make sure you get your money back.
Yes, don't take no for an answer.
No, correct. That is the rules of racing in this country. 3 o'clock SD, the Firth of Clyde. Group 3, 6 furlongs. Quick mention, you put one up anti-post. It isn't running, unfortunately. Are you going in again?
Yes. I just get the impression they think quite a bit of Rogue Attraction. Very short first time up at Carlisle. And on the book next time, again, was very short at Catterick and absolutely wazzed up. Now, very much sort of goes into the could be anything category. But he was good at Catterick. He really was good. I mean, he was. To be fair to him, he was pretty. Apologies, I keep saying he. She was pretty darn good at Carlisle first time. It was probably just beaten by Greenness. I thought in a race where there's no standout, is there? There's a lot of exposure. It's a bit it's been like a naturist convention, I suppose. I'd rather go for something that was unexposed rather than exposed.
Okay, fair enough. Right, on to the main event itself then, SD, the Ayr Gold Cup, 3:35 on Saturday, the main event of the weekend. You're on one anti-post Strike Red at 20-1. What price is that showing on your screen now? It's a bit shorter.
12.
12. SD's on that one at 20-1. Yeah, I mean, there's an obvious one in here, isn't there, SD, that everyone's been talking about. You probably don't need me to tell you that, Ain't Nobody's £13 well in as a result of his second in the Numthorpe. Bit of a no-show on the paper, on the surface, bit of a no-show in the Haydock Sprint Cup. But as SD told us at the time, and so it proved on the day, completely drawn on the wrong side, had absolutely no chance. Drawn 3 on that day where you needed to be drawn high. So I think you can put a line through that. On the basis of Ain't Nobody's being £13 well in and everyone's talking about it, why is he not shorter than 9-1 was my question. I expected him to be shorter than 9-1, put it that way.
Look, Kevin Ryan's got a great. I'm not sure. I think that they have to run rather than it being the right race for him. I think there's a legitimate stamina doubt over 6 furlongs on soft ground around here. I'm not sure the conditions suit him.
And they'll go absolutely nuts from the start, as they usually do.
Yeah, it's a proper race, isn't it? I mean, I broadly agree with the betting. I don't think he should be favourite. So he could be very well drawn. Kevin's got a great record in it, but you know it's probably a little bit. I just don't think everything suits the horse here, and in a race like this, you want everything to suit them, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, I would.
Are you double dipping?
Of course, I'm double dipping.
Oh yes.
The two were interesting. I love the idea of pieces on Purosangue. I think it could be inspired. I think something like this, some form of aid will just unlock this horse. You know, started the season off 105, now down to bloody 96. Didn't run that bad last week at Doncaster, where officially the ground was good to soft. It was nearer good to firm. Probably been running on too quick a ground. Does like to get its toe in this horse. You know, if you go back to last year, was second in a listed race at York to horses like Quinault. Mr. Murphy's on. He's got an awful lot going for him. Obviously, Andrew's won the race before. He's just got the potential to be a hell of a lot better than this, Mark. And I think, yeah, that's he's less exposed than the others, and I prefer.
Okay, fair enough. Right, we're off to Newbury then, SD.
Do you have any thoughts on the main betting race of the weekend, sir?
No.
Have you even looked at it?
I've not in any detail. No, to be honest, I've just had enough of sprint handicaps. If I've been getting them wrong all season, I'm not going to start getting them right.
Stay tuned, viewers. He's had enough of sprint handicaps.
I'm not going to start getting them right on Ayr Gold Cup day, Emma. Let's be honest. My record is shocking in handicaps this year. I said that last week. I can't keep throwing stuff at a wall and expecting different results, can I? But I do have a big fancy at Newbury SD that we're going to be getting onto soon. The 130 at Newbury, no bets, but we did allude to this earlier in the week. This is the 5 furlong Dubai International Airport World Trophy. Group 3, Montasib returns. That's the headline there. 336 days off. Last year's Betfair Sprint Cup winner. That was over 6 furlongs. Very much a prep race. We have been told by jockey and trainer this week with a view to Champions Day. So no surprises there. Rumstar is your 100 to 30 favourite at the minute. There's 11 in there. Range of Bambi, one of yours that you like, SD. Shagran, another I think you might have tipped recently. So I know there's no bet. I just wondered if you had a comment.
It's whose turn is it today, isn't it?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
I just look, you can end up in those sorts of races completely up your own arse. I'll be quite honest with you. Newbury is not my idea of punting royalty. I just find it a bit of a gaff track at times.
The 205 there at Newbury is a nearly 1 mile, 1 mile 5.5 furlongs. Staying handicap there again. No bets from us. Just touching on it.
This is just another of those Newbury races they seem to have on the Saturday meetings. You know, nothing particularly good in there.
Yeah, no one cares.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Right, bet of the weekend coming for me, SD, and it's a handicap, because I'm really doing well in the handicaps recently. But no,
you specifically said sprint handicaps before.
I did.
Come back.
I did. Defiance. I am defiant in trying to turn the season round for myself. he's the bet of the weekend for me. He didn't stay last time at Hamilton, where the ground might have been too quick anyway. He's back down to 10 furlongs here. He ran well at Goodwood before that. He wants a bit of juice in the ground. He's going to get it here. William Buick's book for Roger. Yeah, he started the season in that Derby. In a handicap at Epsom earlier in the season. Like I say, it didn't go his way at Goodwood. I thought he ran well there. Hamilton too far. I think Defiance will win this race. And there you go.
Why do you think he needs to give?
Do you want me to tell you why, SD? You won't appreciate this at all.
Well, where in the form? I'll rephrase it. Where in the form book does it tell you?
It doesn't, but the trainer in a stable tour at the start of this season does not want quick ground, and it was good to firm at Hamilton last time. So there you go. I think he can.
And then they ran him at Goodwood on quick ground, so
they did. Not as quick as Hamilton.
If I was having a bet in the race,
yes,
I thought Theory of Tides ran very, very well at York last time.
That's the Gosden horse that had been off ages.
I thought he made a lot of ground up very quickly and did remarkably well to finish where he did.
Yeah.
Danny Tudhope's at Newbury on Ayr Gold Cup day. Whatever next.
Yeah, Defiance has been. I have been waiting for Defiance to get a bit of juice in the ground. 10 furlongs. He's getting both here. That'll do for me. That's my fancy of the weekend, to be honest with you. In the 3:15, the feature race at Newbury on Saturday, the Mill Reef Stakes. We wasn't too enamoured by it earlier in the week. We're still not. I don't think there's a superstar in here. But SD did say earlier in the week, I think, that he had his eye on this Into the Sky. Jim Boyle, 2-year-old, now in the ownership of Doreen Tabor, I believe. And you think he should be shorter than 5-2, don't you?
Well, I do. I mean, the time last time was, we did say earlier in the week, sometimes you don't produce it on the second start. That's almost built into the price. The time last time was absolutely stunning. He was absolutely was toned, this horse. I think he'll win. I mean,
we've got no idea about the form, though, have we, of that race?
But what we do have is bad horses can't run quickly. It's impossible. And like I say, the time was unbelievable. It really was very, very good. He won by 7.5 lengths. Whilst we don't know necessarily about the form, they weren't. I don't think there were duds behind him. You've got Appleby, Hannon, Chapel Iron, Hughes, Cox, Beckett. They're all in the race, and well, it was quite a surprise. The second that day, just as an example, had been beaten 1.5 lengths by McMurray on its previous run. And McMurray, lo and behold, went, and bear in mind this also second, won a nursery last week off 83. Now, obviously, that sort of form is way short, but this thing licked the horse that was up, wasn't beaten far by McMurray, off by 7.5 lengths. It's a lot.
Yep, fair enough. If I was being forced into a bet, SD, I think I would go for because at this time of the year, in these type of races, not Group 1s, but just below, you get the unexposed types, i.e. Into the Sky, who's won very well on debut and had one run now coming into a group race against the likes of Rock on Thunder, who I thought, has been running in a Group 2, listed in a Group 2 again last time. I thought that Rock on Thunder ran pretty well in the Jim Crack. Probably not a vintage Jim Crack, but was second there and a long way clear of everything else in that race. Again, might not have been the vintage ones in behind that day. But yeah, if I was having to have a bet, I'd be looking towards Rock on Thunder. It might drift on the day. I might end up backing it late on. But I'm in no rush as we stand now. Are you going to allow me a bet on Friday, SD, in the Bronze Cup?
I don't think I have any choice in the matter, given you forced it on us.
Well, yes, you did last week for a Friday race, and you backed a winner.
Yes, it was also televised.
Yes, well, this is the Bronze Cup. I'm not going to a novice hurdle.
Therein lies the prerequisite.
Yes.
How's your knee, by the way?
My knee's not great, SD. I've been limping now for 13 days. Yes, and I've had enough, to be honest with you. But thanks for asking. That's the first time you've shown any concern.
Well, it was not concerned. You just moaned about it incessantly on the phone.
I have moaned about it, because I've had enough. Right, we
are
going
like Brian Potter.
I mentioned this one earlier in the week, this Mostar Dreams. Thought it was an eye catcher at Haydock when ridden by Paul Mulrennan there. Down the centre of the track that day. Definitely wasn't in top gear. That's being polite. So, yeah, kind of had my eye on that one since. This is his first run since. Stays a little bit further, which I think is handy here. As SD said earlier about, these some of the times on the Thursday were a little bit off. So, yeah, I'm putting up Mostar Dreams there in the 3-4.
Yeah, Jimmy Five will want to win that. I need a proper look at that. But yes, Jimmy Five will want to win that race. Jimmy Five, great supporter of racing in the north, loves to win in Scotland, doesn't he? And of course, Paul's on. And look, Big Jim Goldie had a winner today.
I like Jim.
He's also
Jim
got
said,
a favourite in Eternal Sunshine. But again, these are different conditions.
Who I tipped last week to win the Portland. Jim Goldie says she was unlucky. This is Mostar Dream. She was unlucky last time and will probably go very close. Reasonably vague and standard trainer comment there. SD, before I came on here,
comment, don't
yeah,
you?
I do. I try and take in a broad range of information and then see what it chucks out. Usually a loser. I was speaking to trader friend of the channel before I came on here, SD, and he had a message for me to give you on here. That SD is the punting king of Scotland. That was his view. So maybe we're going to find out if that is true this weekend.
Of course, I'll be up in Scotland. Just my whereabouts. It's rather a topsy-turvy weekend, I'm afraid. I'm at Britain's friendliest racecourse Saturday evening. I'll then come back here, hot-footed up to Scotland. Now, by the way, last week when I was going to Musselburgh, if anybody from Cumbria Constabulary is watching, they decided to put a wide load on the M6 on a Sunday morning. Well, this is about the third time this year. It caused chaos. I couldn't stop at the truck stop. It was absolutely ridiculous. So don't do it this weekend. There was some insolent copper. Everybody was passing him, and then he put his "Do Not Pass" sign on. I didn't see it, and he kept jutting out and putting his sirens on, and nearly got arrested. So yes, Hamilton this Sunday, back home, and friend of the channel's at Hamilton as well. And I shall be at Britain's friendliest racecourse again Monday.
Awesome. Are you not going to Britain's friendliest greyhound track on Friday, SD, as the grand opening to the public?
What? It was up to me. It wouldn't be there.
Britain's friendliest racecourse debuts to the public a greyhounds track tomorrow, 19th of September. Are you
wonderful?
No, not going. ST. Should we start a greyhounds now YouTube page? Do you want to do daily tips on the greyhounds, SD at Romford?
No, I leave that to much better judges than I like Jerry Croxford. Great greyhound punter, Jerry Croxford. Lovely man as well. At least he says what he thinks. I think we should touch on Brave Inca dying. Brave Inca was an absolutely fantastic hurdler. You know, when A, hurdlers ran, and B, they were enthralled in a battle, and not just at Cheltenham. And it was quite a racehorse. Was Brave Inca. Oh, and by the way, if anyone read the punters panel last week,
oh yes, Harry put up 2 winners on the punters panel.
Well, yeah, they'll have been favourite. I put up a 12-1 winner, so boo-hoo. Anyway,
I did returns tomorrow, SD.
It does, and we'll go on to that in a minute because we have a very
come on, let's not drag it on. We're on 33 minutes already.
I said, and I don't know if I didn't put this up yesterday, I don't know. I said Melistic will win at Kelso on Arc Day. But what's it bloody gone and done? He's gone and won last night. I mean, he still might win on Arc Day. Fantastic ride by Brian Hughes. And we have a very special guest on the punters panel tomorrow. A Knight of the Realm, no less, don't we?
Yes.
Stay tuned for that one.
The punters panel, which is available most Fridays over on oddsnow.com, where we have SD, myself, and Harry every week, plus 2 guests. And this week, the guests are better than ever.
Yes, and Harry, here's a challenge to you. Put up 1 horse at double figures tomorrow.
Challenge accepted. Right, we'll leave it at that, SD. All the bets will be in the description as normal. And good luck with your bets. Let us know in the comments what you fancy. See you later.
Yes, goodbye.